Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of July 27th through August 2nd. And during that time, I'm just laughing because I keep saying August 2nd, like with a G. Second. Difficult. Anyway. During that time, we'll have a waxing crescent moon, and a waxing crescent is a really good time to buckle down and get to work on those things, projects you've just started, all of those new things that came about on the new moon. We do have the first quarter moon that comes in on the 2nd of August, and that is a really good time to, you might feel a little bit impulsive and frustrated and that sort of thing. So it's a good time to work on your patience. That also, I think, comes in on the weekend. So hopefully you don't have to be buckled down and focused at that time. But if you do, just make sure that you keep that moon energy in mind. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week, Scorpio. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right. And your overall message for this reading: a new romantic cycle begins. All right, Scorpio, let's see what you guys have going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that my weekly reminder this week is that you take time to meditate. So just find some quiet time, quiet space, and just still your mind and your body and go within and do a little exploration. If you already do this, you know what I'm talking about. You know how rejuvenating it can be to do it. If it's not something that you normally do, try to start working that into your routine, at least, if not daily, at least every other day or so. So that is my weekly reminder for you this week, is that you give that a little bit give it a shot. All right, Scorpio, without further ado, let's get into this reading, July 27th through August 2nd. Scorpio, a new romantic cycle begins. All right, present energy, King of Swords. So, the King of Swords is kind of our logical, knowledge about intellect, knowledge about communication, how to communicate very, very clearly, but also, very logical, very pragmatic. So I call this our Mr. Spock of the deck. So a new romantic cycle begins, but it looks like, intellectually you're on a particular path, very logical. And maybe it's a little harder for you sometimes to be that romantic person, because you do tend to be more logical than feeling based. But let's see where this goes here. Your current situation is the Wheel of Fortune. So it looks like maybe you're having some sort of, evolution in this manner of communication in your romantic life. Maybe it needed more logic, right? Maybe you were too much on the other side. So, it looks like this is some sort of evolvement. If you're, again, we're discussing romantic cycle here. So let's see what goes here. At the root of your situation is the King of Cups. So here comes our romance and our connection with feelings. So two kings on the table, and kings are about our mature, mature knowledge of something that you've taken the time and energy to, to really put in what it takes not only for yourself, but also the people around you. But this is you kind of recognizing your own intellect, your own logic, but also here with the King of Cups at the root of it is that you also recognize your own feelings and the people around you. And somehow this is evolving for you. So let's see where it goes. In your recent past is the Sun. So you're coming into this week with a very positive mindset, feeling light, airy. This is definitely about, the Sun is the happiest card in the deck, but it's about, nurture and healing and just kind of getting to a place of being very blissful, it's about being, the ability to be very clear about who you are, what you are, and very light. It's literally the card of light, the card of sun. On your mind this week is the Temperance card. So nice, easy balance. Interesting that we've got 3 major arcana and 2 royalty cards. So seems like a major transformation for you. This is a turning over. Of course, we've got this Wheel of Fortune card, which is about evolvement, but it makes me feel like you're turning over some new leaf. for many of you. But, you've got this mindset of balance and temperance. And, the temperance card, look at, you know, when it comes to these two kings, the King of Swords and the King of Cups. And when I think about the temperance card here, you've got one foot in these watery emotions, but also one foot on the ground. One foot on solid terra firma. So very interesting. That really represents both of those cards. What is just ahead of you this week is the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is about a new path. And of course, we're talking about a new romantic cycle. So for some of you, this is meeting a new person, a new person, and you're feeling light. I say that our Page of Cups is kind of our joker, our comedian of the deck. There he is with his emotional cup, but there's a fish in it. That's kind of funny, I think. Um, but this is a new path for you. And it's very light and jovial. Like I said, this guy has a sense of humor. So you're going into this, and I kind of get that giddy feeling that you get when you do, when you first meet someone, first start dating, that kind of feeling. But also if you're in a relationship already, it's that kind of feeling that you can get a renewal from, when that person makes you laugh, or that person does something really nice for you, or you just things that take you back to the beginning of your relationship and that feeling. So that could be it could be both of those things, just depending on where you are in your relationship. But this, and for that's some sort of renewal. So if it's not about meeting someone new or a new path that you're on, it's about a new path that you're on within a relationship also. In your advice position is the Page of Wands. So lots of royalty coming out, in the Page of Wands, where our page is about new emotion. This is about a new path and passion. And your advice is to go for it. And whatever way this is, again, if you're meeting someone new or if you're renewing a relationship, that sort of thing, it's saying go for it, which is awesome. I love that. What is beyond your control this week is the moon. So not only do we have the sun, but here comes the moon. So this could be, the moon is about, our mysterious paths, the things that happen, under the cover of darkness that maybe aren't very clear, but they are illuminated by the moon. And this would be things like intuition, just kind of following your feeling, or the universe is showing you signs that you're not really quite sure, why am I seeing this number over and over again? Or, why did I hear that little line from that song that's kind of stuck in my head? Those things where the universe gets in front of you. You might have an actual book fall in your lap at some point, and that's just the universe kind of pushing those things. So that is beyond your control. Watch for those signs and signals, because they should be very prevalent this week. And what is your secret desire here, or what you're trying to avoid? Well, look at that with the Lover's card. I would imagine this is your secret desire, depending on looking at the entire rest of the reading. And I want you to look that we are now all major arcana and all royalty in this reading. Amazing. That's amazing. Very rare that happens. So again, new romantic cycle. This is a really strong signal that, things are aligned for you to either meet someone new or to renew a relationship that you're in. It's all there. And is this your secret desire, is to come together in partnership like that? This is our card of duality, but this is really reading, like, wow, in the romance department for you, that it's just things are aligned, and it's just a good week to share, to be open. In your final outcome is the only card that's not major arcana, and it's the Seven of Pentacles, which is about the seeds that you have planted and just watching things grow. So that's amazing. Are you watching a relationship grow? Are you moving things to the next level a little bit? It's just very happy and balanced. When it comes to that part of your life, there's nothing else to say. Scorpio, that if you're meeting someone new, I think it's a really good sign this week. And again, if you're renewing something within a relationship, also just a really, really good sign. What is hidden from you this week is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is about kind of a breakthrough or a new idea, and that's kind of hidden from you this week. That may come next week, but you're in this, the King of Swords is sitting in the energy where those breakthroughs look like they've already happened. and you're incorporating them into your being, into your life here. With you're just kind of watching this. It's just kind of a joyful, like there's nothing else you can do. You've planted all the correct seeds where they needed to be, and you're just waiting to reap that harvest. So that's really lovely, Scorpio. It's just a lovely, lovely thing for your romantic life this week. I love that. All right, let's get some advice here. Final advice for Scorpio for this reading, which has been so positive. Have faith. Love that. And I think that comes in here. Have faith in all those seeds that you've planted. They seem very, very positive, and I think things are going to come to, happy fruition there. Let's get a self-care card from the Self-Care Wisdom deck. Self-care for Scorpio this week. What should they be doing to take care of themselves this week? Although it seems like a lovely week, let's see what you guys can do. The card that comes in for you is Pamper. And there's a picture of, a lady having a bubble bath there and her cute little cat. Self-care is a necessity, not a luxury. All right, so take care of yourself. It's a necessity. Work that into your routine, daily, weekly. And that's true. I believe that. It is a necessity. It's not really a luxury. Some things they do feel like that, but you've got to do things every week to take care of you. So, Scorpio, I love this reading. I wish you luck this week in your romantic life. If you're comfortable sharing, let me know. Drop me a message in the comments down below. Did you meet someone new this week? Are you, in some sort of renewal phase? Did you go reaffirm some vows? If you've been married for a long time, is there things that you do to renew your relationship? And what sort of seeds have you been planting that you're waiting on this harvest to come in? Again, this is so many major arcana cards and royalty in this reading, and it's just amazing. It's just the way this reading comes out for you, which I really love for you. So, Scorpio, I really appreciate your time with me today. Of course, again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what it is you guys are going through. I do post readings every week, so come back next week and we'll see if this energy continues or if something totally new pops up here for you. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel and it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Scorpio, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.